stayed by the doorway, but your eyes were already gone. You smiled like you were listening, while your heart had moved on. I kept reading between your pauses, trying to fix what I felt. You were halfway out the moment I still called us sweet to myself. I confused your silence for patience and distance for space to heal. I didn't know you had already left. I was loving what wasn't real. I stayed after you checked out, kept the lights on, kept the doubt. Told myself you'd turn around while you learned to be fine. I stayed after you checked out, held the room, held the sound. You left without saying goodbye. I stayed to watch us die. Your words felt rented, never owned, like promises with an end date. I waited for you to feel again while you learn how to escape. I memorized your leaving signs, the way your touch grew thin. You didn't break my heart all at once. You slowly checked out within. I stopped asking you to choose me, stopped begging love to try. I saw the truth in your absence before you said goodbye. I stayed after you checked out, played the part, wore the doubt. Loved you louder, loved you proud, while you faded into the crowd. I stayed after you checked out, believed in us when you were out. You left without closing the door. I stayed for something no more. Now I know love doesn't vanish, it leaves clues before it goes. If I have to convince you to stay, then I already know I won't build a future on someone halfway gone. I deserve a love that stays present when things go wrong. I stayed after you checked out, but I'm leaving now somehow. I will carry what you dropped. I won't wait for love to stop. You checked out and wept for the end. I stayed, but I won't again. This time I choose myself somehow. I stayed once, now I might. I stayed when I shouldn't have. Now I'm walking back to me. of empty rooms by tracing where you used to stand. Your coffee cup, your quiet shoes, still waiting like they understand. The light comes in but feels too wide, like something's missing from the air. I smile now, but only half. The rest of me still isn't there. You never slammed the door goodbye. You just faded step by step, and somehow that hurt deeper than every word you never said. I loved you in the spaces you left, in the pauses between my breath, in the nights where your name stayed loud, but your voice was nowhere around. I held on where you slipped away, loved the silence, you couldn't stay. I loved you in the spaces you left when you were already elsewhere. Your absence learned my daily life. It knows exactly when I fall. I talk to you in crowded rooms, still feel the quiet most of all. They say time heals, but no one tells how slow it moves when love stays true. I don't miss who you are today, I miss who I was with you. You moved on like it was easy, like we never had a past, but I'm still living in the moment, right before we didn't last. I loved you in the spaces you left, in the cracks I could have met, in the days that kept moving on, while my heart just tried to pretend. I stayed with you, let go, believed in us long after no. I loved you in the spaces you left when I was still trying to hold. Maybe love was never meant to survive on memory, but I built a home inside the loss you never came back to see. I don't hate you, I just stayed for the version you let fade. You taught me how to feel alone while still loving you this way. I loved you in the spaces you left when goodbye didn't sound like the end. Every heartbeat learned your shape, every tear spelled out your like my own. Even with the echoes gone, I loved you in the spaces you left, but I don't live there anymore. You used to fill the room with sound. Now even echoes feel afraid. The walls remember how we laughed, but won't repeat the things you said. I talk to spaces you walk through like they might answer me again. But every night just proves the truth. You're gone and quiet's moved right in. I waited for your voice to break the stillness you left behind, but silence stayed and slowly learned every fear I hide. When silence learned my name, it started calling me at night. Every memory felt louder when there was nothing left to fight. You disappear without a sound, but silence stayed and took your place. Now I'm answering the quiet. When silence learned my name. Your goodbye never found the words. It just arrived in smaller days, in messages that stopped too soon, in love that looked the other way. I carried conversations that never reached your side. The quiet knows my heartbeat now better than you ever did that time. You left me standing in between what was and what we'd never be, and somehow silence stayed long enough to understand all of me. When silence learned my name, it held me when you wouldn't stay. Every unanswered question began to sound the same. You moved on like nothing broke, but I still feel the change. Now I'm learning how to breathe with silence saying my name. Maybe love doesn't always scream. Maybe it fades then disappears. But no one warned me quiet could remember me this clear. I don't miss the way you left. I miss the way you didn't try. You gave your absence to the world and left the silence mine. When silence learned my name, it stopped feeling like a threat. It taught me how to sit with pain without begging you to stay yet. I won't chase what wouldn't choose to fight for me the same. I survived the nights alone. When silence learned my name, I still hear in my past, but I don't answer back. Silence knows me well enough to finally let me rest. suitcase stayed by the doorway, but your eyes were already gone. You smiled like you were listening, while your heart had moved on. I kept reading between your pauses, trying to fix what I felt. You were halfway out the moment I still called us we to myself. I confuse your silence for patience and distance for space to heal. I didn't know you had already left. I was loving what wasn't real. I stayed after you, checked out, kept the lights on, kept the doubt, told myself you turn around while you were nowhere to be found. I stayed after you, checked out, held the room, held the sound. You left without saying goodbye. I stayed to watch us die. Your words felt rented, never owned, like promises with an end date. I waited for you to feel again, while you learned how to escape. I memorized your leaving signs, the way your touch grew thin. You didn't break my heart all at once. You slowly checked out within. I stopped asking you to choose me, stop begging love to try. I saw the truth in your absence before you said goodbye. I stayed after you, checked out, played the part, wore the doubt, loved you louder, loved you proud, while you faded into the cry. I stayed after you, checked out, believed in us when you were around. You left without closing the door. I stayed for something no more. Now I know love doesn't vanish. It leaves clues before it goes. If I have to convince you to stay, then I already on someone halfway gone. I deserve a love that stays present when things go wrong. I stayed after you checked out, but I'm leaving now somehow. I won't care as you drop. I won't wait for love to stop. You checked out long before the end. I stayed, but I've gone again. This time I choose myself somehow. I stayed once, now I'm out. I stayed when I shouldn't have. Now I'm walking back to me. We were still learning how to laugh again, still leaving coffee warm on the table. You said forever like it had time, like love was something stable. I was counting days we hadn't lived, dreams we hadn't dared to try. Then you said my name like an ending, before I learned how to say goodbye. I thought we were just beginning, but you were already done. I was holding on to the moment you were landing from. Your goodbye came early, before my heart could understand. I was still building tomorrow. You were letting go of my hand. Your goodbye came early, before love learned how to stay. I was ready to keep choosing us. You walked away yesterday. Your side of the bed stayed untouched, like it knew you wouldn't return. I replayed every quiet promise, trying to see where it burned. You spoke like you thought it through. Let the leaving was an act of grace, but I was still inside the story. You erased the final page. I didn't know love could end Goodbye came early for you. It came on time for me. Your goodbye came early, but my healing came right on time. I won't mourn what you abandoned. I'll protect what's still mine. Your goodbye came early, but I finally see the truth. You left before love was tested. I stayed long enough to choose. You left before I was ready. Now I'm ready without you. I learned how to speak softer so you wouldn't turn away. I shrank my needs to silence just to make you stay. I left room in every sentence, hoping you would step inside. But you filled the world with noise and never saw what I set aside. I bend myself around your days like love was something small. You never felt me disappearing, you never felt it at all. There was space you never noticed, right beside your life. I was standing in the quiet while you chased another light. There was space you never noticed, where my heart remained. I was making room for you while you never did the same. Saved you a place in my future with your name underlined. You treated love like a visitor, something passing through your time. I waited in between your choices like a pause you could ignore. You never saw me holding open what you never walked toward. I kept the door from closing tight in case you changed your mind. But you mistook my patience for something you could leave behind. There was space you never noticed in every breath I gave. I was quietly choosing us while you were halfway gone. Passing through. It was teaching me how there was space you never noticed, and I'm reclaiming it tonight. I won't make myself smaller just to stay inside your life. The space you never noticed is finally mine. You walked away without a word, left the silence louder than the hurt. I replay the moments we almost knew, all the little things I never said to you. The door closed softly behind your face, and suddenly the world felt out of place. I reached for reasons, but they dissolve into shadows only I resolve. And every night I ask the air why you left me standing there. The goodbye you never explained echoes louder than the rain. Every memory I tried to save crashes into the empty space. You vanished without a sign, left me with questions lost in time. The goodbye you never explained still lingers in my veins. I hear you laugh in strangers' rooms, see your eyes in the pale of the moon. Every corner whispers your name, but nothing feels like it did the same. I held on to echoes that weren't mine, chasing pieces across the line. Love turned into a silent plea, and yet I find you haunting me. I'm learning how to let it go, even if I'll never know. The goodbye you never explained echoes louder than the rain. Every memory I tried to save crashes into the empty space. You vanished without a sign, left me with questions lost in time. The goodbye you never explained still lingers in my veins. Maybe some doors are meant to reopen, maybe some hearts are meant to stay, but I keep walking through the ashes of the words you didn't say. The goodbye you never explained will never break the love that remains. I will carry the lessons, the ache, and beneath the shake, though you vanished without a sign. I'll find my peace in my own time. The goodbye you'd never explain will never touch what I became. I whisper to the empty air, thank you for the love we shared. Even if you never explained. The room still smells of yesterday. Your laughter lingers, won't fade away. I trace the moments you let slip through. Every corner whispers something of you. I stood in shadows where your light once shone, hoping somehow I could hold it alone. But love dissolved before it could stay, and I'm still standing where it went away. And every night I feel the cold of words you never said, stories untold. I stayed where your love ended, holding pieces I never mended. Every heartbeat I tried to save now drifts alone across the waves. I stayed where your love ended, learning to heal what was abandoned. Though you walked out and left me behind, I keep the echoes you left in my mind. Your shadow haunts the places we knew, empty streets still smell of you. I keep your sweater folded on the chair, pretending you might come back there. The clock ticks slow, the nights feel long, but I find strength inside the wrong. The love we had became a ghost, but it's mine to keep, even if it hurts most. And in the quiet I begin to see the love I lost is part of me. I stayed where your love ended, holding pieces I never mended. Every heartbeat I tried to save and finally find my own tomorrow. I wake up reaching for your side. Habit doesn't ask me why. Your coffee cup is long gone cold. Still feels like something left untold. I don't hear you say my name, but rooms still echo just the same. Like you never really left. You just became my quiet breath. I thought time would teach me how to forget, but it only taught my heart where you still sit. Your absence still knows my heart, knows exactly where to start. Every scar, every part, every place we fell apart. Even gone, you leave a mark in the silence, in the dark. You don't touch me, don't hold my hand, but your absence understands. I smile now when people ask if I'm done with the past. I say yes like it's true, like love just disappears on cue. But some nights I still feel you near, in songs I never used to hear. It's not pain, it's something else, like missing who I was myself. I don't need you back to survive. I just miss the way we were alive. Your absence still knows my heart, knows exactly where to start. Every scar, every part, every place we fell apart. Even more, you leave a mark in the silence, in the dark. You don't touch me, don't hold my hand, but your absence understands. Maybe love doesn't need a face. Maybe it just learns to change its place. You're not here, but you're not erased. You're written into how I am. Your absence still knows my heart, like a language I can unlearn. Every end, every start, every lesson that still burns. I don't need you to stay, I just feel you every day. You don't love me like you did, but your absence never quit. You're not here, but my heart still knows you were. We used to talk until the light turn mornings into something bright. Now even silence feels too loud, like something broke but never fell down. No slammed doors, no last goodbye, just fewer reasons asking why. Your shadow left before you did, and I pretended not to notice it. Love didn't end, it just grew thin. Like words we stopped believing in. We faded without a sound. No echoes when we went down. No fire, no final round. Just hearts learning how to back down. We didn't crash, we didn't fight. We slowly lost the need to try. We faded without a sound. Still hurts when I think about I still remember how we laughed before forever turned to past. We stayed but weren't really there. Share the same room, different air. I held on longer than I should. You left in ways I misunderstood. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't wrong. Just love that didn't last that long. We stopped asking if we're okay, like answers would have made us stay. We faded without a sound. No echoes when we went down. No fire, no final round. Just hearts learning how to back down. We didn't crash, we didn't fight. We slowly lost the need to try. We faded without a sound. Still hurts when I think about some endings don't break you in two. They quietly forget you. No scars to prove the pain was real, but silence cuts the deepest still. We faded without a sound, like ghosts we didn't chase around. No blame, no truth we found. Just love we slowly let slip out. I don't hate you, I don't cry. I just miss the reason why. We faded without a sound, and that's the part I can't work out. Nothing shattered, nothing drowned. We just faded without a sound. I didn't know the shape of quiet until your voice was gone. I used to fill my days with you. Nowadays just carry on. Your coffee cup still by the sink, like you're running late. But I stopped waiting at the door when hope learned how to break. You never meant to leave me cold, but love taught lessons it never told. I learned loneliness from you, from the way you slowly slipped away from all the things That's when I started to understand. Love doesn't always end with tears. Sometimes it leaves you here. I learned loneliness from you, from empty rooms and quiet nights, from loving someone halfway who never stayed to fight. I wasn't strong before you gone, but I became someone new. Yeah, I learned loneliness from you. Now I sit with silence like it knows my name. I don't blame you for the pain, but I changed. I learned loneliness from you, but I also learned to stand. I learned how to lose someone and still hold my own hand. You were my hardest lesson and my deepest truth. I didn't choose this kind of love. I learned loneliness from you. I don't miss who you became. I miss who I was with you. It was past midnight, phone face down. Your name stayed quiet, no familiar sound. I typed your words, erased them twice, like love was thinking, taking time. The room was full of borrowed air. Your side of the bed still warm somehow. That was the night I realized love was gone, but I was still around. I kept reaching for something true, but every silence sounded like you. It was the night love stopped answering our goodbye. No warning sign, I kept calling out your heart, but it was already offline. I stayed awake, believing you, while love just let me through. Yeah, it was the night love stopped answering, and I stayed with the truth. Your jacket hanging by the door, like you'd be back, like before. I replayed moments in my head, looking for the words you never said. You said nothing was wrong at all, but your eyes had learned to leave. I was loving at full volume. You were already on mute. messages that never come. I learned some hearts go silent before they're gone. It was the night love stopped answering, but I survived the sound of none. I stopped calling what we had, something it never become. You taught me how to lose someone without a fight or truth. It was the night love stopped answering, and I answered me too. I still remember the ringing, but I don't wait anymore. I kept your sweater on the chair, like you'd walk in and still be there. Your shadow lingers on my skin, a quiet ache I'm living in. I replay words you never meant, trying to heal with what was left. After the last I love you, the world stopped holding its truth. Every heartbeat fell out of tune, since I'm learning life without you. After the last I love you, I'm standing in the pieces you withdrew. Your laughter haunts the empty rooms, soft echoes wrapped in fading bloom. I trace the spaces where you stood. If letting go was easy, I still could. But memories spill like summer rain, touching the parts I can't explain. After the last I love you, the world stopped holding its truth. Every heartbeat fell out of tune, since I'm learning life without you. After the last I love you, I'm standing in the pieces you withdrew. Maybe love was meant to fade slow, leaving fingerprints on my soul. I'm still walking where we used to be, trying to find the rest of me. After the last I love you, I'm breathing in a sky so blue. will pass through, but tonight I'm whispering goodbye to you. I hear your footsteps in the hall again, a phantom sound beneath my skin. Your name still lingers in the dark, a quiet bruise upon my heart. I'm trying not to fall apart, but your silence keeps pulling me back to the start. 'Cause echoes don't lie, they keep telling me why all the words you left behind still cut like they were never mine. Every whisper, every sigh, echoes don't lie. They keep breaking me each time. The empty spaces breathe your trace, a haunting warmth I can't replace. I hold the truth with trembling hands, hoping it turns to light again. But the past keeps calling out your name, and I'm the one still burning in the flame. 'Cause echoes don't lie, they keep telling me why all the words you left behind still cut like they were never mine. Every whisper, every sigh, echoes don't lie. They keep breaking me each time. Maybe love was meant to fade slow, like fading stars in the afterglow. But the quiet hurts the most when your memories turn to gas. Said echoes don't lie. Now I finally know why. Every promise, every cry was the truth we tried to hide. But I'm learning to say goodbye even when echoes don't lie. Tonight I'll breathe without your sound and let the echoes settle down. I feel the quiet trembling in my hands, like every beat still understands. You were the rhythm I leaned on, a soft heartbeat that's now long gone. I try to steady what you left undone, every breath reminds me you were the one. 'Cause I still feel your name on my pulse, running wild beneath my bones. Every echo of the love we lost still moves through me like a ghost. I wish I could let it go, but I feel your name on my pulse. I trace the memories like faded lines, a quiet warmth I failed to hide. You were the fire beneath my skin, a fragile truth I kept within. And I keep trying to outrun the past, but your heartbeat lingers, beating fast. 'Cause I still feel your name on my pulse, running wild beneath my bones. Every echo of the love we lost still moves through me like a ghost. I wish I could let it go, but I feel your name on my pulse. Maybe love was meant to stay in the spaces words can't say. Even if you're gone from me, your rhythm still lives quietly. 'Cause I still feel your name on my pulse, and it hurts, but it's all I know. Every moment that we couldn't save still rushes through me like a wave. Maybe someday it won't show, but tonight your name still beats on my pulse. One day this heartbeat will be mine again, but tonight it still remembers when. Trace the places where you used to stand. Your shadows linger on my trembling hands. We used to speak in quiet, honest tones. Now every word feels like it's made of stone. The space you left keeps growing every night, a quiet ache that never fits quite right. I reach for you across the fading light, but love can't bridge what's lost from sight. And I'm trying not to fall apart, but silence cuts deeper than the dark. You drift away with every passing day, while I'm still learning how to stay. There's a distance between our hearts. the distance between our hearts. I replay moments like a fragile song, wondering which note we played wrong. Your laughter used to echo next to mine. Now it feels distant, lost in time. I hold the memories like they're glass, afraid they'll shatter if I breathe too fast. You're here but somehow not the same, a stranger wearing your old name. And I'm still hoping for a sign that there's a way to realign. But love can bloom when hearts retreat, and ours forgot how to meet. There's a distance between our hearts that I can't cross, no matter how I try. Every step just pulls us further, every truth becomes another lie. I'm reaching out with broken fingers, but the hurt keeps tearing us apart. No matter how close we stand, I can't find you through the distance between our hearts. Maybe we lost us somewhere quiet, in the pauses we could never hear. Maybe love isn't gone, just tired, too faint to trust, too torn to feel. If goodbye is the path we're taking, let it be soft, let it be real. But no, I loved you with everything, more than I could ever reveal. Still there's distance between our hearts, a widening space we can't deny. I whisper love into the silence, but it fades before it reaches your side. I'm holding on, though it's breaking, but truth is pulling us apart. I'll let you go with trembling hands and set us free from the distance between our hearts. One day I'll walk without this weight and breathe a world that doesn't ache. But tonight I'm learning how to part with the distance between our hearts. We used to speak in colors soft and bright. Now every sentence fades into the night. Your eyes once met mine halfway home. Now they wander like they're on their own. I try to reach you, but the air just shakes. Like silence knows the sound we never made. It's the quiet between our words, where all the hurt begins to grow. The things we never said are the ones that echo loudest now. coffee cools between untouched hands. We smile like strangers trying to pretend. I hear the distance in your soft I'm fine. A fading truth buried in your sighs. We keep pretending nothing's out of place, but silence draws a line we cannot trace. It's the quiet between our words where all the hurt begins to grow. The things we never said are the ones that echo loudest now. You're standing right beside me, but you feel a world away. In the quiet between our words, we slowly lost our way. If love is slipping through the spaces, tell me how we ever save this. Are we too far to speak the truth, or are we scared of what we'll lose? It's the quiet between our words, the place where we forgot to stay. If only we had spoken, maybe love wouldn't slip away. You're here, but I can't reach you, no matter how I pray. In the quiet between our words, we whispered our last goodbye that day. And now the silence is all we have left to say. You walked in like a summer breeze, soft and warm, you unfolded me. I didn't know what falling meant till you wrote when my heartbeat said. But even in your smile I saw a trace of something holding back you couldn't face. We were almost meant to stay, almost found it forever in the way. Your hand fit perfectly in mine, like stars aligning out of time. But almost isn't close enough to keep a breaking heart in love. We were almost meant to stay, but almost slipped away. Your voice still lingers in my mind, a fading note I can't rewind. We built a world of maybe soon, but promises collapse too soon. I try to hold the pieces of your fear, but you kept walking, even standing here. We were almost meant to stay, almost found it forever in the way. Your hand fit perfectly in mine, like stars aligning out of it down. We were almost meant to stay, almost touched a love that wouldn't fade. I felt you slipping like a tide, no matter how I held the line, but almost couldn't hold us here or keep you leaving from drawing near. We were almost meant to stay, but almost walked away, and I'm left holding everything we almost became. I still remember the way you'd call in quiet moments, no reason at all. You held my heart like something true before the silence started growing through, and I replay the spaces where you slipped, every minute losing one more grip. These are the hours you forgot, the ones where I loved you more than I thought. Every sunrise you let fade, every memory let slip away. You walked out without a second glance, left me standing in the aftermath. These are the hours you forgot, but they're all I've got. Your shadow lingers on empty chairs, your laughter echoes like unanswered prayers. I trace the moments we almost kept, but promises crumble where your silence slept, and I'm holding pieces you left behind, trying not to lose what's left of mine. These are the hours you forgot, the ones where I loved you more than I thought. Every sunrise you let fade, every memory you let slip away. You walked out without a second glance, left me standing in the aftermath. These are the hours you forgot, but they're all I've got. Maybe time was never on our side, maybe love was something you couldn't fight, but I still keep the seconds you let fall, even if you don't remember them at all. These are the hours you forgot, but to me they're the pieces of what we were not. Every heartbeat I tried to save now just echoes through I hold the minutes you left unfinished. Left the porch light on for you, like I always used to do. Your footsteps never reached my door, but hope kept whispering maybe more. I sat with shadows on the stairs, counting promises still in the air. Every quiet hour felt like truth, saying I was waiting more than you. And I held on even when the night turned cold, still believing in stories we never told. Now there are tears on the welcome mat, where your smile used to land when you came back. Every drop of memory we couldn't save, every trace of path you never stayed. You left silence where your heartbeat said. Now the only thing returning is the past, and I'm standing here with tears on the welcome mat, trying to accept that you're not coming back. Your coffee cup is by the sink, still holding echoes of the way you'd think. I kept your sweater on the chair, like you'd walk in and still be there. Love used to bloom in simple things, now it feels like winter in the spring. I sweep the floor but somehow fall into pieces that still miss your call. And I'm learning how to breathe without your name, even though the air will never be the same. Now there are tears on the welcome mat, where your smile used to land when you came back. Every drop of memory we couldn't save, every trace of path you never stayed. You left silence where your heartbeat said. Now the only thing returning is the past, and I'm standing here with tears on the welcome mat, trying to accept that you're not coming back. Maybe love was meant to fade slow, maybe letting go is something we grow. But I still wait for footsteps that won't come, and blame the dawn for rising like it was. Now there are tears on the welcome mat, and I'm learning to live with the ache of that. Every heartbeat still wants to believe, but your goodbye never learned to leave. You left shadows where you left to say. Now I'm holding what's left of what we had, still standing here with tears on the welcome mat, finally whispering that you're not coming back. The porch light dims, but my heart still lets you in. I held your promises like sunlight in my hands, believed every word you whispered in the dark. You painted futures on the walls of my heart, then walked away before they even had a chance. I tried to stand where your shadow used to be, but every step just pulled another piece of me. You taught me how to break, how to fall with no one left to catch the ache, how to breathe when every breath begins to shake. I didn't learn to leave, but you taught me how to break. Your memory lingers like fingerprints on glass, a quiet bruise that never fades with time. I try to stitch the silence back into my life, but every thread keeps pulling me to the past. I hear the echoes of the love you didn't keep, and somewhere in them I lose another piece. You taught me how to break, how to fall with no one left to catch the ache, how to breathe when every breath begins to shake. I didn't learn to leave, but you taught me how to break. Maybe healing starts where all the truth is raw, where I admit you never loved me after all. But even now I feel the fracture when I speak your name, a lesson carved too deep to ever fade. You taught me how to break, but now I'm learning how to turn the pain to grace, how to stand without the pieces you erased. I didn't learn to stay, and I won't let you teach me how to So here I am, gathering the parts you left behind, finding strength inside the cracks you carved in time. I walked the shoreline where our shadows used to lie. The waves still whisper secrets you left behind. Your laughter lingers in the dimming sky, a fading echo I keep replaying in my mind. I trace the footprints we almost made, but time washed them out like we were only a phase. voice returns in fragments on the breeze. Soft as a memory, I'm scared to breathe. I hold the twilight like it once held you, a fragile place where dreams almost came true. And though the night keeps pulling me apart, I still feel you written in the constellations of my heart. And I keep hoping the universe might rewrite the ending you left in the quiet of that night. Where the falling stars remember us, where the heavens keep the love we lost. Every spark a moment we couldn't save, every shimmer a promise we couldn't brave. You slipped away before the dawn broke through, but the sky holds what I couldn't hold of you. There in the dark, the falling stars remember us, even when you don't remember what we were. Maybe some loves burn too bright to stay. Maybe we were a wish the night couldn't keep safe. But when I look up, I still feel your touch in every star that falls too soon, too much. Where the falling stars remember us, and the night repeats the things we never discussed. Every heartbeat feels like a spark we knew, every tear shines with the ache of you. You walked away before our fate could trust, but somewhere above we're still luminous. There in the dark, the falling stars remember us, even if we're nothing more than dust. I lift my eyes and let the sky be where our memories survive. You held me softly when the lights were low, only when the world had no need to know. Your whispers lived where shadows stayed, a hidden truth you never let me name. I learned to breathe in all your half-kept dreams, and hoped one day you'd choose to be seen. But love can't bloom where no one sees it grow, and I was waiting for a heart you couldn't show. You left me only in the quiet where no one else could hear your truth. You kept me somewhere safe and silent, but silence never felt like proof. I needed more than stolen moments, more than nights you wouldn't own. You loved me only in the quiet and left me loud and beat alone. I traced the outlines of your secret fears, the parts you hid behind unspoken tears. You let me in, but only halfway through, enough to feel you, never enough to choose. And I kept hoping we would find our light, but you stayed folded in the safety of the night. And every promise faded before it reached your lips. A love you held too loosely in your fingertips. You loved me only in the quiet, where no one else could hear your truth. You kept me somewhere safe and silent, but silence never felt like proof. I needed more than stolen moments, more than nights you wouldn't own. You loved me only in the quiet and left me loud in being alone. Maybe you were scared of who we could become. Maybe I was scared of living half loved. But hearts weren't made for hidden rooms, and I've grown trying to fit inside yours too. You loved me only in the quiet, but I'm learning how to hear my voice, finding strength in the ones who see me, not the ones afraid to make a choice. I'm leaving all the whispered shadows and the love you never let unfold. You loved me only in the quiet, but I need more than being half told. So I step into the light where love won't need the night. I watched the doorway after you were gone, thinking maybe you'd remember what we lost. Your jacket still hangs where you left your name, a quiet echo of the love you couldn't claim. I gather pieces of the things we tried, but some hearts break too gently to survive. And I keep searching for the reasons why you let go long before you said goodbye. 'Cause I had a heart too soft for your goodbye, too open for the way you chose to leave my side. You slipped away like someone fading from a dream, leaving me with promises you never meant to keep. I held on even when the truth was hard to find, but I had a heart too soft for your goodbye. and take my softness back this time. The mornings got colder, though the calendar said spring. Your laugh arrived later and left on quieter wings. We passed the same hallway like ships in the night, still saying I'm fine, while the distance grew wide. I felt the shift in the way you folded the clothes, a little less careful, a little less close. We never named the crack that was forming below, just kept walking forward, pretending we didn't know. We lost each other softly, like rain on a window pane. No thunder, no screaming, just a slow fading stain. You became my outline I could no longer trace. I became the echo of a once familiar face. We lost each other softly, without a trace. The photos stayed up, but the stories went dark. Your favorite sweater now hangs cold in the dark. We stopped reaching across the table at night. The silence felt normal, almost polite. I kept telling myself it was only a phase, that gentle good nights could still carry the flame. But every small step back was a step we both chose, until the love we once carried quietly froze. We lost each other softly, like petals leaving the rose. No violence, no ending, just a gradual close. The future we whispered became a forgotten line. We turned into people who once felt like mine. We lost each other softly, one breath at a time. If I could rewind to the first day the warmth slipped away, I'd pull you back gently and beg you to stay. But love doesn't shout when it starts to depart. It simply stops knocking at the door of your heart. Now I carry the weight of the things we let die in the softest of ways, under the softest of skies. We lost each other softly, but the lesson burns bright. I'll never again love in half-hearted light. I'll speak when it matters, I'll hold when it's real. No more but I found how to heal. We lost each other softly, like a song that ends too soon. The softest kind of forever that ended in